Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. Recently in the manga, we saw that Luffy finally revealed his dream to the rest of the Straw Hats. But at that point, and most of them ended up laughing at him. Now we don't mean to say that they were laughing at him as if to make fun of it, but rather in a positive way, saying that Luffy had a really funny but interesting idea, which means that this dream has to be something incredible, something that will surprise all of us when it's finally revealed. So in today's video, we're going to talk about what Luffy's dream is, why Oda is hiding this dream from us, to which people Luffy may have told these dreams of his, and what their reactions were when they heard it. But before we go back and revisit all these dreams, if you're new to the channel or even if you've watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like or even subscribe and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out and motivates us to make more content. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or your favorite with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into this video and these dreams. So my friends, chapter 1060 of the One Piece manga was titled Luffy's Dream, which is a really interesting chapter where fans have long awaited this event, but like Oda always does to us, we didn't actually get the full revelation of what Luffy's dream is. Now, Luffy's always but this really only seems to be one of his goals, and he has a much bigger, real dream that's yet to be told to us. Based on the information that we have from Luffy's real dream is something bigger than just becoming the Pirate King. So this has to be something that could impact the entire world, making the desire to become the king of the pirates kind of insignificant by comparison before Luffy's real dream. And it's because of this reason Oda keeps this dream hidden until the very right moment, which we could expect is going to be one of the final moments in our story overall. Many different ideas and theories have circulated around the fan base over the years, trying to predict what this true goal of Luffy's might be. However, we still don't have any solid confirmation on what it might be, because we really haven't gotten much more information than just the reactions when he tells it to somebody. Luffy also hasn't let anything slip or mention anything about this dream, so it's gonna be kind of complicated to deduce what this dream of Luffy's is. Now, we might expect that some ideas and theories might come close to really what Oda's had planned, and others, might be kind of far off the mark, and we really don't have any way to know which is which until Oda at least gives us kind of a hint. But back to chapter 1060, we get no information about this dream because the scene where he tells everyone his real dream is cut. But what we do get, like I said, is we get the reactions of the Straw Hats, some laughing and some actually finding his dream kind of interesting. Something quite curious is the fact that Nico Robin is the only one left speechless. Otherwise, all the rest of the Straw Hats say something. Now, some are confused, some laugh, some think Luffy's kind of crazy, and some even look at him in absolute admiration. This reaction is based on her personality or bringing up something from her childhood, or they find out that Shanks knows about his real dream, and Luffy says that he also found it funny and found his dream amazing. Luffy also mentions the other people who knew about his dream, saying that he's also told Ace, Sabo, and Yamato, and now all the rest of the Straw Hats know his secret as well. Same dream as Luffy. Because during some of Shanks' conversations with Rayleigh, they talked about Luffy. Shanks told the parallel between Roger and Luffy and Wano, the flashback that happens during the anime, it seems to be something really important where Luffy is standing next to Roger. This further links them together that they do share this dream, implying that not only do they have the same dream, but everyone they've told finds it funny, but also surprising, something that Roger may not have been able to achieve, so it's now fallen to Luffy, the next Pirate King, to do it. A world where all of his friends could eat as much as they want, and this also extended to the citizens' dreams. There wouldn't be really any reason for Oda to cut away where Luffy tells Kaido about his dream and his goals, and then kind of cuts back to us. However, in this moment in chapter 1060, absolutely nothing is shown about this dream of Luffy's, and this means that Luffy has bigger plans in store, far beyond just feeding the starving people in a desolate country. Throughout our story, Oda has made a very conscious effort. Dream is truly remarkable, and perhaps that's how we will see our story end, where Luffy is able to fulfill this immensely great dream that both he and Roger had in common. A dream where many thought it was stupid, but in the end, still something that they both wanted. So again, even though we have these little bits of information, there's absolutely no way to know if we're going to be right about what we think about this dream. We could just come up with ideas, but without any really confirmation, we just have to wait until Oda-sensei reveals the whole thing. So going over what we know, we can use what we have seen and what Oda has revealed. For instance, going back, we saw all the reactions that the crew had, and it confirms that this is possibly a childish or cute or something that might even sound stupid to other people, possibly being something incredibly big, maybe even involving the whole world, and something that inevitably could or would change the whole world. Luffy's dream may also be connected, at least in some way, to what he said during the Wano arc that he wants to make. He may not have been referring directly to his dream, but his desire could be easily related to this dream. When Luffy answered Kaido, not only did he say that he wishes for a world where people can eat as much as they want, but we can have a big party where everyone can participate and have fun and eat as much as they want. However, as I just said, we can't consider this maybe the whole, scope of Luffy's dream, but it is his desire and something that comes from his heart that, although it may be not the whole goal, Luffy's great dream is gotta be something that has given his life purpose and really been his whole drive on this whole journey. Another angle to consider is that Luffy's dream could be related to freedom, and he may want to free all people. So regardless of race or species or where you were born, everyone would be. This isn't a dream that somebody would just laugh at. And Luffy's dreams may have something involving this freedom. I mean, after all, and Luffy's often talked about the fact that he wants to be the freest person on the sea. And that's the true kind of definition of the King of the Pirates. Friction, as well as seemingly becoming Joy Boy and the sun god Nika, the literal symbols of freedom. This dream of his may have actually gone all the way back to the reason why the fruit picked Luffy in the first place. Considering the diverse reactions from the crew again, it also could have something to do with uniting ship. Even Hawkeye's Mihawk regarded Luffy with some trepidation because during the battle in Marineford, he said that Luffy had one of the most dangerous abilities a man can have, the ability to turn enemies into friends, being able to make friends easily with his great charisma and kind of childlike way of being. So let's kind of look over what we've just talked about, that what we think, or it could be a dream that has all of these various elements that we've seen peppered in throughout the work of One Piece, and also something that's gonna have to go along with Luffy's personality. Something in addition that we're curious about is we don't know if this dream of Luffy's is something that Luffy only wants to keep among his closest friends, or if he doesn't care if the whole world knows, because Roger didn't necessarily seem to care. But they heard it directly from him. While Rayleigh heard about Luffy's dream through Shanks, and Yamato also found out through Ace. But thinking of Roger, it might have only been those that were closest to him that actually knew his real dream. I mean, he often found something else in his mind, and really it was adventure and learning everything that the world had. So Roger could have kept his true dream hidden from the Marines and the world government, which means, so before this, the Straw Hat crew only thought Luffy's dream was to be the Pirate King. But as we saw, they had no idea that Luffy wants something other than to be the freest person on the sea. There are also some very important events to first find Laugh Tale. And on this island where the One Piece treasure is located, it's only going to be when they manage to find this treasure that we'll be able to understand what Luffy's real dream is that Luffy's dream is not just a simple thing. I mean, especially given the shocked reactions of his crewmates. So we gotta figure out that this is gonna be something that Oda is gonna give us a huge emotional reward for. Something that will make us fans thrilled with Luffy's achievement. I mean, a dream that could make us the reader, laugh and realize and embrace how crazy Luffy's mind is. Because as we know, when it comes to Luffy's mind, there is no box, so he goes beyond just thinking outside of it. And in this way, Luffy is quite an admirable character because he does whatever he thinks, especially whenever he thinks something's right and he doesn't care about the criticism of people around him. I mean, he just acts in his own extravagant and kind of extra way, even if it causes trouble for everyone around him. And even despite that trouble, they always end up loving him and enjoy the ride. So Oda, unfortunately, left us again in doubt in this story, always leaving us curious to know what could be the outcome of this mystery. Now, we're not likely to get to the answer of this very soon, but as we head to this final ending saga, we may get more hints about what Luffy's dream is, and finally learn what the actual goal of this whole dream actually is. Are you in the camp that thinks it's kind of like throwing the biggest party or throwing a party with everyone in the world, or something beyond freedom? Or do you think there are any other hints that you can find in One Piece that we missed? Let us know what you think in the comments below. So my friends, as we wrap up our video for the day, I want to thank you all so much for watching the video all the way up to the very end. Be sure before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.